I have been wanting to do things where I can either uplift women, help them, do something about how they feel about themselves. The way we are conditioned, it's always a woman that's been called wrong. It's always the woman that's been judged. If a marriage falls out, it's always the woman who's called that she must have not done something right or wrong. The one who chooses to stay, the one who chooses to take care of the child all alone, is the one who's judged. I mean, your sensibilities and sensitivity both needs to be judged then, rather than judging the women. Or the women who come who tell me कि हाँ मैंने अपने माँ बाप से कहा पर उन्होंने कहा कि अब शादी हो गई है तो अब क्या ही हो सकता है, तुम सहन करो, अब शादी हो गई है तो तुमको सहना पड़ेगा. I went through certain things in life because this is where I needed to be. I needed to probably show the path to so many out there. There are so many who judge me. I can't change that, and it doesn't matter to me. But the ones who look up to me, the ones who I feel responsible towards them. I understand rumors, but creating news out of nothing is absolutely fake news. And I really question their integrity there, that how do they feel like doing that just for sake of few views. I call her my healer. She heals me. So even if I'm having a mild headache, I'll tell her, just put your hand on my forehead now, I'll feel better. And the moment she puts her hand, I say, my healer, my healer. So she's healed my soul, worked on myself, because I never wanted to let my experiences affect her in a negative manner. So in one line, if I can say, I didn't break because I didn't have the choice, because I knew that my child is watching me.
She's strong-headed, she's inspiring, she's super positive and talented, but a lot more than that, she's one of the most real people that you will meet, and you, no matter what, you will fall in love with her. Welcoming Juhi Parmar on a fresh new episode of Sheroes on FPJ Showbiz. Hi Juhi, how have you been?
I am very, very well, and thank you for such kind words for me.
You're most welcome. I truly believe you are the perfect. Firstly, we share the same
Yeah,
name of our podcast. Yours is also Shiro's. I feel we have celebrated men so much that it's time we celebrate and lift each other up as human beings, gender no bar. Um, I before this interview, I watched so many promos. We were just talking about Kahani Har Ghar Ki, and it was so hard hitting to watch, and I feel you are the correct person to be sitting there and doing that, because your aura is such that we genuinely feel very connected. Whatever you are feeling, if you're crying, I'll feel like crying. Every mother will feel like crying. If you're laughing, we'll be happy. This is also a very emotional concept. How did this happen? Let's start with that.
Okay, so this show, the way it happened is very, very surreal, because for the longest time, like since you know about Sheroes, I have been wanting to do things where I can either uplift women, help them, do something about how they feel about themselves. Through my social media also, I keep trying to motivate them. So this was a burning desire in me, where I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how. But I was just doing it in my own little ways that I could. But I think I manifested it so hard that it just happened. I aligned myself, my thoughts, my energies to the energies of the show, and attracted it.
Wow. But how emotionally draining is it for you? Because we're all human beings. Of course, भले ही वो एक stranger की कहानी है, when you listen to it, you feel so emotional yourself, and you feel helpless because you want to help the person who's in need, but if they don't really want to help themselves, you can't do much. How emotionally draining or challenging does it become?
See, there are some episodes which are extremely challenging. Um, I'm an empath. Okay, one of the reasons I'm the one who's chosen for the show is that I am truly an empath. I will truly feel for you and be there for you. So when I feel for somebody, obviously it is not happening to me, but I still feel some amount of pain for them at that time, because I get them. So it is challenging. But in that moment also, what I feel is that at least they are able to talk it out. They've got a space where they can talk. First step is being able to get it out of your system. You don't have people who you can talk to, you can trust, who will understand you, and then not be judgmental about what you are doing, not pull you back and tell you it's okay, go through it, but don't speak up, because they will show you the worst case scenario, what will happen if you speak up or stand up for yourself. So here my job is not just to listen to them, but to give them hope. And also, as you said, that we can't change until and unless they want to do that for themselves. At the same time, we can't change the other person until and unless they realize that how much harm they are causing to the person who's their family member, their loved one. So it's not about bashing any gender, it is about making them realize that probably you are not even paying attention to the kind of things you're doing, which can be causing so much pain and harm to the person from your own family, someone who's your wife, who's your sister, your mother, or whoever. So it's a balancing act that I have to do. And for that, even though I do feel emotional for them, I have to have that kind of awareness in me at that time, that, okay, I cannot let myself flow in it, because then how am I going to help them and guide them?
Correct. I read a couple of comments where, especially women, they came out and of course they appreciated you, but they also called the show actually real. We have somewhere lost the meaning of, something that's closer to reality TV, because nothing seems to be real, even if it is. Now, this is of course very personal. It comes across as real. As an artist yourself, how important was it for you to make sure everything is authentic and real and relatable?
It was very important, because that's the essence of the show. Here we are not talking about anything that's fabricated. We do not have fabricated ending in any episode. The first episode, we were not able to change the mind or the heart of that man, but we left it at hope. My parting note was that we really hope that we've been able to plant that seed in you, which will make you realize, if not today, someday, that what you're doing is so wrong. So we've tried to do that. So we've tried to keep it as authentic, as real as possible, and not try to forcefully take it to any kind of resolution that we want, but try to keep it real, and whatever can be the best outcome of that situation.
A lot of times, we were just talking about this off camera. A lot of times, it's also the fear of being judged, the fear of course, not being financially independent, that makes you stick to something that you know is bad for you. Um, do you feel that even today in 2025, we might feel that we're, of course, getting progressive, but you were saying that it's just a very
Very far
small
from it.
amount.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with the same
Yeah.
issues.
It's so unfortunate. And it's not just that the ones who are in the metros are not facing it. Okay, financial independence may be different. Women out there who are not working are more dependent and are more prone to take these kind of abuses for sometimes throughout their lives, because they don't have a way out. People like us who are working, who can take a stand for themselves, who can run their houses, are not into that category. But the fear of judgment is always there, be it a woman who's working or not working. Because unfortunately, the way we are conditioned, it's always a woman that's been called wrong. It's always the woman that's been judged. If a marriage falls out, it's always the woman who's called that she must have not done something right or wrong, or she must have done something in a manner which made this happen. Why is it always a woman who's judged? And because she knows that whatever happens tomorrow, it's only me who's going to face it, she just keeps pushing it. You keep procrastinating taking the right decision for yourself, even though you know that you're not doing good to yourself, because no one wants to face those judgments. So I think it's about time, more than taking it, it's about time telling people who are the ones who are sitting out there and judging women that, listen, you need to be more kind. You need to have some compassion in your heart. The one who chooses to stay, the one who chooses to take care of the child all alone, is the one who's judged. I mean, your sensibilities and sensitivity both needs to be judged then, rather than judging the woman. The one who leaves is not judged, the one who's staying is judged. Where are we coming from? What are we telling the world? So we really need to change at the fundamental
True,
level.
that is so
And there
true.
is so much work we need to do, so much work.
there's judgment, and there's also one other thing which is so heartbreaking, that it's always the woman who's convinced, you know, beta thoda adjust kar lo, aap samajh jao, it's okay, wo to aisa hi hai. So we are saying the thief will come and steal, you please, you see he's
Yeah,
not wrong,
yeah.
so you adjust.
So the thief came for stealing something. You screamed help.
Yeah.
So you are the one who's
Wrong,
wrong.
you scrimped.
You
Yeah.
should have closed your eyes and let him steal. Is the ideology we are living with. In the show, also in the episodes, I am sometimes aghast hearing parents also, or the women who come who tell me कि हाँ मैंने अपने माँ बाप से कहा पर उन्होंने कहा कि अब शादी हो गई है तो अब क्या ही हो सकता है, तुम सहन करो, अब शादी हो गई है तो तुमको सहना पड़ेगा. In the second episode itself, the mother-in-law comes and says कि आदमी तो गुस्सा करते ही हैं, मारते ही हैं, तुम थोड़ा चुप रहो, उस समय जवाब मत दो तो तुमको मार नहीं खानी पड़ेगी. भाई हमने तो सारी जिंदगी यही किया है. This is what she tells about herself, and she wants the same thing to be followed. And if the daughter-in-law is saying that I can't take the beating anymore, she's the one who's wrong. Like really, we are far from evolving if this is how we think. I said that we need to do the groundwork only. बहुत दूर है इमारत अभी.
That is so true. But you come, you know, I watched a clip where you said that financially being independent was your core. And it didn't, of course, your family was very progressive, but your father was ready to financially help you in 1999 when you came here. But you one day picked up the phone and you said, stop sending me money. And that was such a brave decision to do. And I can completely relate to it. I come also from a family where my father would help me till the time, you know, he can, and he will never say no. But it was a very conscious decision to tell him that, listen, stop it. Because now I have come to Bombay in another city. Let me do it on my own, because then I will not be proud if I don't. How did that mentality, I'm talking about so many years back, 25 years, 26 years back, it come to you? Today it's very easy, you know, women going out, working, earning their own money.
I don't know how and from where. I have been like that right from the beginning. Sometimes we joke in our family that भगवान बनाने तो वाले इसको लड़का थे, बेटा बना के भेजने वाले थे क्योंकि इसमें सारी क्वालिटीज़ वही वाली हैं. लेकिन एंड में उन्होंने बोला बिकॉज माई फादर वांटेड अ डॉटर, तो गॉड सेड चलो ठीक है बेटी बना देता हूँ. सो दैट थिंग ऑफ taking responsibility has been there in me right from the beginning. And maybe that was the moment I felt like I'm being irresponsible if I'm not doing enough to have a footing in this city, and I'm not doing enough because my father is sending me money, so I'm not facing any struggles, any challenges, so I am keeping my feet up and enjoying my time here. That's not for what I have come here. I have come here to make a name for myself and make my parents and myself proud. And for that it begins with difficulties. If you don't face difficulties, you will not become what you want to become, because challenges only make you who you are. They refine you as a human being. Those are the moments that come to shape your personality. So ये इतनी छोटी उम्र में मुझे कैसे ये फीलिंग आई, आई रियली डोंट नो, बट इट वाज जस्ट दैट मोमेंट ऑफ रियलाइजेशन दैट आई थिंक आई एम नॉट डूइंग इनफ, and to do enough I need to face difficulties, and for that I have to tell my father not to send me money. And
Wow.
I think that
And the
made
rest
me-
is history. You didn't ever take money from
Again.
him ever again.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this the same upbringing that you're giving Samira? Of course, she's grown up to be this beautiful little child who's going to be a teen next year. Next year, this year, next year. Okay. Because you learn so much from your family, and how much ever you've explained, you come from a super nice, progressive, supportive family.
Very, very supportive.
That's all you need in life. And now, of course, your daughter's growing up looking at you guys.
So with my daughter, all the good things that my parents have inculcated in me, I am definitely passing that on to her, and added whatever I have learned in my life. And uh, I think this is the most important role that I have played in my life, because I'm bringing up another human being that's going to be a part of the society. So for me, it's not just about myself, it's about my daughter is going to reflect everything that I have taught her. and I take pride in the person that she is. She's kind, she's compassionate, she's loving, she's giving, she's the definition of my prayers answered in the best possible way. I couldn't have ever asked for anything more than such a wonderful daughter. So, yeah, it is my responsibility to make sure that um, I, I do inculcate those good qualities in her. And I've tried to do that right from the beginning in age appropriate manner, not by making it very heavy for her, but yeah, she knows the importance of values. She values honesty, she values being there for others, she values humanity. She's another empath growing up to be probably a bigger empath than
Yeah.
me. So yeah, these things, it was conscious and unconscious decision both, because it came very naturally to me. I take this role very, very seriously, and it is the most important responsibility of my life.
Wow. Has she also helped you come out of any, like, of course, we have phases, we have ups, we have downs. You've always shared your ups and happiness with her. You said you guys love traveling, and I just saw your Abu Dhabi post, and it was just so much happiness filled in those pictures, you know. But of course, when there are lows in life, do you guys also like lift each other up?
Of course, and I call her my healer. She heals me. So even if I'm having a mild headache, I'll tell her, just put your hand on my forehead, now I'll feel better. And the moment she puts her hand, I say, my healer, my healer. So she's healed my soul with so much love that I couldn't have even imagined that a child can love a parent this way too. Sometimes I feel that she mothers me. I've told her so many times that she's an older soul than me. She's much more mature, she's much more understanding. She's definitely an evolved older soul. She's not like other 10-year, 12-year-old kids. She's she's something else. When you will talk to her, you will know. When you will spend time with her, you will know what I'm saying. And she actually inspired me to work on myself and become the best version of myself. She's the one because of whom I refuse to give up. She's the one because of whom I told myself that I can't set a wrong example. I have to, I don't have to just say it in words. Children are very, very, they're very sensitive to energies.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
understand if somebody is low, and if a
Absolutely.
mother is feeling low, they will get it. So I really worked on myself because I never wanted to let my experiences affect her in a negative manner. So in one line, if I can say, I didn't break because I didn't have the choice, because I knew that my child is watching me.
That is so sweet. You know, that is a perfect example of how mums are. Like, you know, my mom was a homemaker all her life. She always said, I want to do a business. But she was busy. You know, we were three kids and she was so busy. And at 50, a year back, she started her first business
Wow.
and it became
Wow.
successful. And now she's so busy and she's working. And
Wow.
now we are like, we call her and she's sometimes busy and, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
reversed. And
yeah.
I'm like, wow, we're so
That's
proud of you.
commendable.
Yeah. So I completely feel you because if
Yeah.
you, I'm saying no, a daughter mother bond can never, like, nobody can beat that.
Nobody,
Nobody,
nobody. The
nobody.
smallest little thing. I have it in my phone. I can show it to you. It was like 3 days back. So I call for food from home, but I go in the morning, so my food comes little later. So my in my ice box, I just opened the ice box and there was this cute little, small little note that she'd left in the icebox for me, where Mama, eat on time. I hope your episode is going well and you will do well and all that, because I do the same to her
So
in her
her,
school.
oh God.
So when she goes to school, sometimes I leave these
Yeah.
surprise notes for her. So children simply mirror our
Yes.
behavior.
Yes, they
So
do.
this is small little act of love that I do for her is reciprocated. The same way the person that I am is also going to mirror tomorrow, and she's going to take the same behavior patterns from me because she's watching me every single day. So instead of choosing to uh, fake and be happy, I chose to heal and be happy. I chose to genuinely be the person that I wanted to be rather than pretending to be that person.
That's so nice. You know, it takes a lot to be where you are, to be genuinely happy, and to be an inspiration for so many people. I don't know how you take it as, and if it becomes overwhelming for you, but if you go and read your comments on Instagram, half the people are just appreciating you and calling you their inspiration and telling you that, in some way, maybe through an interview, maybe through a DM, you have motivated or inspired them to do the right thing in their life, could be their personal life. When so many good, nice things people say and call you an inspiration, which is a big thing, how does it feel today?
First of all, I feel grateful. It is overwhelming, but I also feel that this was my purpose, maybe. I went through certain things in life because this is where I needed to be. I needed to probably show the path to so many out there. Yes, there are so many who judge me. I can't change that, and it doesn't matter to me. But the ones who look up to me, the ones who I feel responsible towards them, and I feel that I really want to help. And this show, it is an extension of me, because it's not possible to personally go and reach out to people, but at least through the show, people can reach out to me, and through that one story, we can reach out to so many out there sitting at home who can resonate and relate to that story. So God chose this path for me. Uh, it's my responsibility to just walk this path with purest intentions and integrity, and that is what I'm doing.
How important is it for you to make sure that Samira also understands? I know it's too early, but understands the importance of being financially very independent and not even depend on you. We always say don't depend on a man. I say don't depend on anybody, not even your mother.
I've said that to her.
So
I've said
sweet.
that to her. It is
Wow.
very important, and I do tell her all the time that it's very important to have financial freedom, because then you never find yourself caught up in a situation where you don't have a way out. I hope and pray that she never finds herself in a position like that. But we don't really know what is written for us tomorrow. But the only thing that is in our hand is how do we tackle it, and it's a different kind of confidence. It's a different kind of strength when you know that you're not dependent on somebody else. And you know, being dependent on someone else means depending your life decisions on somebody else and living it, and it's your life. How do you live your life the way you want to live? Because it's majboori hai. So yeah, I've always told her, respect your work, give your 100% to your work. Financial independence is important. Never depend on anybody, not even on your mother. I've always told her that.
That is so true. My father once told me that the one who gives you, who basically sponsors you or financially helps you, is the one controlling your life. They might love you, they might be your father. And he tells me that when we used to take money from him, we used to ask him for permission for everything. Now we don't. Not like in a disrespectful manner, but now we know we're independent. We don't have to. So
So
that
yeah,
is, yeah.
I don't want anyone to control her life.
Yes.
I want her to have the control in her own hands, and I've told her that. Though everything that's mine is hers, and it is not coming from a space where she has to ask me, because whatever she wants, I do for her. But still, I want her to know that she has to be independent enough where she doesn't have to ask her mom also for anything. And I know that she's going to be far more successful, far more independent, far more evolved
Yes,
than whatever
absolutely.
I am
Yeah.
today.
By your talks, I'm so sure that she's going to turn out to be the best version of you because
Thank
you've
you.
passed on
Thank
to
you. Thank you for
passed on
saying
that to
that.
her. But you started working at a really young age, but you also started working in shows, especially of course Kumkum, where the woman's role was very strong. So many women looked up to you even back then. But I've also heard in cinema, in showbiz, that it's a male dominant industry. But with television, I
Is
haven't
not.
heard this.
Television is not.
The women rule.
Yes.
So how was it on set? But were there ever days where you faced any sort of sexism?
At all. Not at all. I mean, I have felt so safe in television that I don't know how to tell you. It's been home for me. I used to feel so loved, so warm, welcome, having a family on the set. television is the safest medium when it comes to the entertainment media, because you're always surrounded with so many people, you have a family there, and TV is not, your selection is not done by one person, it's done by so many people, and you have to really pass so many filters, so and you have to do auditions and everything. So I feel that uh, I was lucky to have always found the right people to work with, and always get love and respect, which comes even before love for me. Even to Samaira, I've always told her that if there is anything that I love more than you, is my self respect. Where for you, my self respect will also not come. But if you will not respect me, is something that is that's something that's non-negotiable for me, because if you don't respect yourself, others also don't respect you. So while I love Samaira more than myself, the only thing I've told her not to kind of break is respect. So in this industry also, when I came, I was so fortunate to work with people who respected me first, and then we formed a bond where I was given so much love, not just by audience but by even people who I was working with.
Wow, you're so lucky also in a way, because it's so important to work with the right people, and you did.
The atmosphere on the set has always been full of laughter, jokes, and every show that I have done, trust me, I'm not saying it for saying it, every single show I have done, I have made such beautiful, wonderful memories that आज मैं अगर 20 साल पुराने भी किसी co-actor को मिलती हूँ, तो भी they meet me with the same love, and it's not just limited to co-actors, the unit people also, be it a cameraman, be it my writers, be it the creatives, it goes the same. Like recent example I'll give you, my comedy circus writer Bharat ji, वो गणपति लेकर आते हैं, तो वो हर साल इनवाइट करते हैं. पास्ट 7 years मेरे यहाँ बप्पा आते थे, तो मैं नहीं जा पा रही थी. This year Bappa took a break and didn't come to our house, and I visited it I visited Bappa at my friend's place, and I had gone to Parelcha Raja the day my show was launched. So I went to Bharatji's house without saying that I'm coming or not coming, and I just landed up there. And the moment he saw me, he was like, "Oh my God, what a surprise!" And at that time, I met his wife also a couple of times, Rohinika. So he took me there, and he said that, "Dekho kaun aaya hai?" And she was in the kitchen, and she turned around, and she said, and she froze for 20 seconds. It was such a beautiful, heartwarming reaction. She said, "What a surprise!" And I met her after 8 years, but with so much love that I came back feeling so full of love. So this is all that we earn. This is all that we earn, and I feel so rich when I get so much love from everybody around.
But lastly, before we wrap this conversation, an artist's huge part of an artist's life is also dealing with media. Now, I don't know how sensitive the media was when you started working off. Today, we've become more mindful about what we have to say and what we want to talk about, and we don't want to cross boundaries with anybody or make them feel uncomfortable. But I also remember the tabloid and the newspaper culture, जहाँ कुछ भी कभी-कभी लिख दिया जाता था. How did you deal with those days? How has your relation evolved, and how's, of course, Samaira gotten used to it, because in the end she was also a growing up kid when these things were happening.
So I'll be honest, even now there are people who write anything and everything they want to write, and sometimes even fake news. I understand rumors, but creating news out of nothing is absolutely fake news. And I really question their integrity there, that how do they feel like doing that just for the sake of few views and or likes. Having said that, I have been lucky that majority of media has always been very kind to me, very respectful, understanding towards me. But see, the entire universe is yin and yang. There is always an equal and opposite part being played, day and night, positive, negative, good, bad. So we can't not have that. The only thing that is in our control is our reaction. So when I was younger, I obviously didn't know how to react better. I used to get angry, I used to get affected, I used to take it to my heart. But as I grew up and I understood that this is the best they know. They don't know better, and maybe they strive on this only. So fine, if they don't know better, I really can't do anything about it. But I know better now how to react better, how to ignore and not let it affect me, and that's what I do now. But back then, yes, there was a time where I didn't know how to uh, take it in my stride. Now I don't even bother. Yeah, if somebody has crossed their limit or has written something that's obnoxiously wrong, then I would definitely take a stand and I make sure that it reaches out to the person that this is not right. But otherwise, I'm like, you say whatever you want to
Yeah.
say, it's not going to change who I am.
Wow. But thank you so much for being a part of Shiro's Ruhi. You've really imparted some really nice life lessons, which younger people who are watching would be like, we need to inculcate this in our life. But before we wrap, quickly, if you could tell us your meaning of feminism. This we have to do because feminism is, we have to. So just quickly, if you could say what your meaning of feminism is, and of course, you will also be imparting that to Samaira.
For me, feminism does not mean becoming cynical. We don't have to make this a war between men and women. Feminism for me is being able to take a stand for yourself. Feminism to me is not taking wrong, not bowing down to toxicity, not bowing down to the conditioning that people have. Being able to break that and break free is feminism for me. Pulling the other gender down and trying to hold a morcha that we are only right
Yeah, no.
is not feminism for me, because we can't
Absolutely.
generalize right and wrong and good and bad based on gender. We have some wonderful men who are doing great work out there, and we cannot close our eyes to them, right? So for me, feminism is just about being true to yourself, knowing your worth, and standing up for your rights by just doing the right thing, not by pulling somebody else down.
That is so true. I completely believe and, agree with whatever you said. And I hope more and more people understand that. But thank you so much for joining in. All the very best and keep doing the good work.
Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best too.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.